Hello, hello. Another exciting conversation after Hafiza, Charu, and Natasha was sharing about PR and branding. Here we go, the OGs of the Global Empowerment Hub family, the community, the Hubbers, the Weavers, however you would like to call them. They are with us for 4 years now. They will be sharing their own experiences and their own insights on diversity and how it has impacted them in action while they were walking the talk in a very diverse community in the last 4 years. So I'm very excited to bring up the members of this beautiful panel. I will bring up Krishan first. Hi, Krishan. How are you today?
Hi, Andrea. Having a sudden runny nose and cold, but otherwise I'm fine. I hope you had a good rest, Andrea.
Yes, I will have my rest on Tuesday. I take it out. That's for sure. Let's bring up Meena. Hi, Meena. How are you today?
Hi Andrea, hi Christian. I'm very good today. Thank you for asking. How are you?
Hi, Mina. Looking lovely.
Thank
Yes,
you.
beautiful as always. And let's bring up the mouse of the house, Mickey in the house. Hi,
Yes, a
Mickey.
big
How are you
mouse.
today?
I'm good, good. Hi, Andrea, Krishan,
Yes.
and Mina. Happy Friday.
Hi,
So
Yeah, happy
Mickey.
Friday to everyone here.
So nice
Hi,
to have
Mickey.
you here, guys, and I'm so happy to represent and present all the three of you because you have been here with this community for a long time, so you know it from the inside out. And I think you are the best people to describe the diversity and how diversity can help community to grow faster and people to elevate themselves and others a little bit on a different way. So I will be going backstage. I wish you a beautiful conversation and I thank you, the audience, for tuning in. I see Sharm already supporting and Andreas is also here. They are also part of our community meeting every Monday morning, Monday evening, sorry. So, so good to have you here. Thank you so much. The stage is yours, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you to those who are tuning in. Good morning to those who are tuning in from the US, Europe, and Africa. Good afternoon to those who are in Asia. Okay, my name is Krishan, and I am leading the session with my fellow panelists. I will do a brief introduction of our panelists and then we will get straight into the conversation. So as I said, my name is Krishan. I call myself the wordsmith and communication consultant. I help my clients with their written communication needs. My niche area is I help them to redesign and edit their resume or CV, or in simple terms, improve and enhance their resume or CV. Okay, besides that, I do copywriting, proofreading, translation, English to Malay, Malay to English. Those who need help with their cover letter or any other letter, I help them to draft letters. And I also do individual profile for speakers or trainers. And I added on typing services because I came across a client who needed a manuscript to be typed into a Word document. So I will have here with me Mickey. Mickey comes from an IT background for many years. He's got a bachelor's in computer science and a master's in software engineering. He's worked for some major IT companies and he calls himself a creative technical professional. He helps his clients with collateral such as PowerPoint slides, company profile, visual representations such as logos or any other things that the clients are looking for. Okay. We also have the lovely Meena. Meena is originally from India. Her name is Meenakshi, by short Meena. She came to Malaysia several years ago. Her background is, if I'm not mistaken, Meena, in chemistry. And when she got to Malaysia, she started a business selling clothing. For a while, it was good. Then I think after that, it was a bit challenging. So then she decided to start a different business, which is home based catering. So Meena makes idli batter, dosa batter, inji puli, and for those who want freshly made idli dosa, together with the condiments, coconut chutney, and sambar. I have ordered many times from Meena when I've got my craving for idli. And one of my favorite snacks is Meena's Crunchy Bites. Okay, so now we will get into the topic of this panel discussion, which is exploring the transformative power of diversity through the insights of some of us who are from the Impact Hubbers community. So I'll just give a little bit of a background. As Andrea was saying, yes, the original group was called Weavers, and then it evolved into the Impact Hubbers. Okay, so we would like to share with you how we have grown and benefited both personally and professionally. And then we will also share some tips that those of you who would like to do some of the things we have done can also get started on that path. Okay. Um, Thank you, Sham, and everyone else who are tuning in. Okay. Mina, would you like to share about your experience and how you benefited as being part of this community and very diverse group of people from different parts of the world, education, expertise, viewpoints, exposure, perspectives.
Thank you, Christian. Thank you for having me. Okay, so I'm someone who is coming from another country, and I think I can be the powerful example of how embracing diversity can enrich one's life and broaden the perspective. So, being exposed to different culture can be, transformative because it actually contributed in my personal development. I became more open minded, and I accept the diverse culture, diverse people with a different race and culture following, which is very common in Malaysia. And I'm totally amazed by the inclusivity and the unity we have in our country, in Malaysia. See, now I call my Malaysia as my country as well. So I'm totally amazed, and I'm so glad that I'm here, where it's all like say Satu Malaysia. You are not Indian, Chinese, or Malay. You are just a Malaysian here. So I learned a lot by the exposure of the diverse culture and the people. And someone who is coming from a very conservative and orthodox family, it was like eye-opening for me when I learned about different culture. It not only helped me in my personal development, but it also helped me in my business. My style of fooding is totally different from people here. So when I meet people from different culture, I learned about their cuisine. I never heard of nasi lama in India. So when I came here, I heard about nasi lama. I learned how to cook that according to the taste. It actually, the diversification actually helped me to be more innovative, and to explore more in my cooking style, in my menu, to satisfy the need of my customer, which is very, very important. And all are from a different culture and race. You now no more can say idli or dosa as a South Indian cuisine. It's more to Malaysian cuisine now. So I experienced that transformation through the diverse culture I experienced here. And when I came to this community, I didn't know anyone. I was so comfortable with only Tamil speaker or a Hindi speaker, because I can speak both language fluently apart from English. So I was very comfortable just with these two people. But now I'm so glad that I'm part of this harbor community, where I meet people from different part of the world, globally, learning about every culture, every tradition. That's really plus point for me. I'm really enjoying, and glad that I'm improving myself day by day by being the part of this community.
Okay, thank you very much, Mina, for your sharing. So that was a very lovely sharing about how the transformative power of diversity for you coming from a different culture in India. Yes, we have Indians in Malaysia, but the cuisine and some of the cultural practices, I think, are quite different, because India in itself is very diverse. So many different languages, different in different provinces and all that. And then I'm sure in the several years that you're here, you would have picked up, besides the nasi lemak, some Bahasa Malaysia, right? So that you can communicate with people who can't speak Tamil or Hindi, and not very good at English either. Okay, so Miki, would you like to share with those who are tuning in about how your journey has been in the last 4 years of being part of this community and how you have benefited?
Sure, Christian. Firstly, thanks for having me. To me, it's again, I mean, the topics of diversity. For example, like today, right? I'm wearing black. It's Friday, right? So today is Black Friday sale. Now, shopping aside, right? Another point is that in in panels or in like conferences or even things like that in webinars, right? Some folks they want to become very formal. They'll wear like jackets or coats, right? For me, I'm wearing a t-shirt here. So that's the essence of diversity, being different. So generally speaking, diversity is like a wide range of differences. And in the context of this panel, it's more like a range of human differences, right? From ethnicity, gender, social, economic status, religions, and many more, right? And in some cases, we may be of the same, same alignment, like same race, gender, and so on. But the way we do things, the way we think is different, okay? I would say it boils down to two things. It's a perception and perspective, okay? So I'll come to me, I will call it blindness, right? We have a closed mind to see things at a deeper level. Things are not obvious from the surface.
Miki,
Right, and this limits
would you like
perception.
to clarify what you mean by perception and perspective? Because it
Yeah, I'm going to that. I'm
can
going to
be
that.
somewhat similar. Okay, yes, continue.
Yeah, the difference. That's why I'll start with this, right? As mentioned, the blindness, right? There's a closed mind to see things deeper level. Things are not always from surface, right? And this causes the lack of perception because we can't see deeper. Whereas perspective come from more on the thought, the cognitive bias. Okay, we limit our approaches and how we solve problems. Okay, which usually would enable us to do things faster, cheaper, even less effort. Because they're similar, but they're different. Okay, so in terms of like I will say to answer a question, all right, perception is how we see things, and perspective is how we think about things, right? So of course you can factor in all the five senses, but let's not go to that today. All right, let's go for these two main parts. Of course, in terms of we do things, there are no right or wrong. Okay, because it's your culture you're bringing, the experience you have since day one, right? For good or bad, and the people you're with, the community, right? And to me, if you change your perception and perspective, it will most likely achieve a breakthrough, right? Because when you see the people differently, you also think and do things differently, which give you ideas, usually more on the positive end. For example, right, you hire someone who has no idea of the job. Okay, it's possible that this person will give you fresh idea solutions because they are not part of the same mold, right? They'll do it, they approach differently. They are not being so tight with what I call group thing, right? Now let's go back to a deeper level of diversity. Now to me, diversity is a strength because it creates creativity, innovation, and problem solving. And as part of the title, right, which I'm happy to have created this title together with the team, it's a power, all right, a transformative power. Why I say that? Well, based on my past experience, that the old version of me has reservations of for how I connect with people different from me. There's this fear of unknown, right? The what if this and what if that. But as I graduated adapt, or should I say adopt diversity, when I'm growing up and now in both professional and business levels, right? I'll learn a lot from this power, and at the same time, building this power. With that, right, I'm actually more eager with to connect with them, these people, and join communities, including the Impact Hubbers. Inside these communities such as the Impact Hubbers, right, I meet and connect with different people from many levels, with different careers, different aspirations, different countries, or different agenda. Okay, not necessarily hidden agenda, but different agenda, right? And also different ages, right? Some are pretty young, but doesn't mean they can't provide any wisdom, and some are kind of quite senior, and doesn't mean they are slow or obsolete, right? So it's very refreshing, because from there, from the sharing, I see like how they've done well, how they failed, and how I can learn and what I can learn from them. Okay, learn from the actions, learn from the experience. See, because you see the way they hustle, the way they work hard or work smart, right, and they're able to stay focused despite the challenges they face, it's very enlightening. And even more, I learned is that when they make mistakes and the bad habits they have, because it encouraged me not to do the same, or discourage me not to, encourage me not to do the same and discourage me from doing the same, right? Because I don't want to experience the unwanted or undesirable outcome, right? So to me, similar to what Mina has mentioned, embracing diversity also means inclusion of both pros and cons of diversity, right? Let me share a fair about it, right? Now, both earlier on, I've shared a fair bit of the pros, but for cons, right? For example, sometimes we do come in contact with toxic people, For example, those who always complain, but never take actions to change, right? Those are resistant or defensive all the time, right? And those who exude active energy, the thing is that, it's either they don't know or they don't wish to change, right? But to me, it's like, if you can't change the world or the circumstances, you have to change yourself. You have no choice, right? Otherwise, you just remain status quo. Well, if you're like with status quo, that's go ahead. I don't know. Things will ever change. You forever remain as a toxic person. But as much as we, prefer or should avoid toxic people, right? Actually, there's much we can learn from them, because you will learn how not to be like them, right? Because you'll be like them, you end up something that you don't want to be, right? Don't want to be associated with. So indeed, diversity is a double-edged sword, to me, right? Somehow by embracing these pros and cons, right? It's actually create me more creative juice in sharing my thoughts in my usual content creation, whether it's for personal or business level. Now, coming to end of my conversation, the sharing is that I would say in all areas, right, there are more advantages in embracing diversity and inclusion, because most of the time when I been part of the community, right, I'm not able to get an immediate solution to my problems or even answer to my questions, but because of the energy I have or with the team, right, and the community, the sharings always allow me to connect the dots. So meaning, I leverage on the giving input, and harness my creativity, especially being a creative, and also my problem solving approach, something that I learned when I was studying com science or computer science decades ago, right? And also mentoring some coachable folks, right? It gives me the incentive to explore and to find ways to do things that are not thought of, okay, a refresh new way, right? Or untried ways. So I would say in a nutshell, diversity provides me a platform to change my perspective and my perception in a positive way.
Thank you, Mickey, for your quite a relatively comprehensive sharing. Okay, right. I would like to give a shout out to those who are tuning in. Thank you, Sham. Thank you, Al. Thank you, Janani. Thank you, Andreas. We appreciate very much your attending the session and supporting us. Two or three of them are actually part of our Impact Hubbers community, and they are also our fellow speakers in other panel discussions. So it's heartwarming to have them to support us and tune in to support to be part of this discussion as well. Okay, so I will talk about my perspective, and this is going to be interesting. It's going to be very diverse and very different viewpoint and perspective. This is the beauty and the richness of having people from different backgrounds and perspective, viewpoints, expertise, experience, etc. Okay, so for me, as I was saying, originally the community was known as Weavers, and then it evolved to become the Impact Hubbers. So for me personally, I'm a positive thinking person. I'm a go-getter. I'm proactive. I'm resilient. I'm used to doing things on my own. And recently, I celebrated my 5-year, 10 months milestone of providing written communication services. Okay, and I started this as a freelance thing from scratch. Okay, no mentor, no coach, no nothing. So I figured it out hands on. Okay, and I think that's the best way to learn things, when you learn it hands on, because theory is well and good, but practical application is the way to actually get a better grasp. Okay, and so being part of this community has made a big difference to me personally, because 4 years ago something totally unexpected happened and my lifestyle changed, not because I wanted it to change drastically, but we all have families, and our families react to this unprecedented situation in different ways. And so I, who am used to attending face-to-face events like conferences to learn from experts, targeted face-to-face networking sessions as well, had to pivot very quickly and get used to using technology, more of technology, new things like Zoom. So before the pandemic, I had not heard about Zoom. Okay, so I had to learn hands-on. It was a pretty steep learning curve for me to learn Zoom. Then only I heard about Google Meet and Air Meet and Dialpad, so on and so forth. Okay, and then this world of technology, things happen like the internet, StreamYard, whatever platform you're using. When you need it to behave, it doesn't behave. And then also the weather is like all over the place, right? All sorts of things are happening in different parts of the world. Okay, and so I pivoted very quickly and like, okay, I changed my approach in how I used social media to create awareness and market my services. Previously, those who were reading my Facebook post, which is how primarily I get the word out about what I do, to my personal page, my business page, and also 3 years ago I created a community, a very cozy, empowering, encouraging community of entrepreneurs, both buyers and sellers, and telling them, if you have some successes, any challenges, any inspirational quotes, feel free to share it. Just bear in mind to follow the rules, okay, of the group, okay, and I have had to learn by leaps and bounds. Okay, and I've learned a lot from certain mistakes, and mistakes is a good thing actually. Life is not going to be a straight line. Okay, the journey is going to be that winding road. Okay, and we learn from the good times and the bad times. So being part of this community, I've learned to use certain tools like Trello. In another group, I learned about Slack, through the volunteer work I do in the community, and also the um, local community, and also the Facebook community where I'm very active, and also the members are very active, known as WIN, which is Winners uh, Innovative Entrepreneurs Network. Mina and I are in another very active community too, the Homepreneurs Entrepreneurs Network. Okay, and this is where, as Mina was saying and Nikki was saying, diversity, cultures, viewpoints, perspective. Each of us comes from educational expertise and knowledge and skill sets which are very different. Okay, so I very much look forward to our weekly sessions, because that's my way of spreading cheer and positivity, and getting the humor from some of our members who are naturally very humorous, some very dry humor. It takes you a while to get used to their humor. And, this is our time where we share what are the things that happened, in the 7 days, or what are the things that we would like to plan to do. And a year ago, I launched my podcast. Okay. And these were initially it was friends of mine who were experts in their own field that were my guests. Okay. And then later I also invited some members who are part of this community to be my guest as well. Mina was one of them. Okay. Andrea too was another person. There are some others who are also recently I recorded the interview with them, and I will upload it to season 2. Okay. So the beauty of this community is you can exchange ideas. You can hear about how each other has gotten through some challenges and difficulties, and we celebrate each other's successes as well. Okay, so it's a good times, the bad times, the good, the bad, the ugly. As the I think there was a movie called The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Hi Viviana, hi Sham, hi Al, and the others who are tuning in. I hope. Thank you, Jack, for the lovely compliment. You've made my day. Hello, Betty. Okay, right. So that is a little bit of my sharing about that. So, since we've got plenty of time, does anyone have any questions for us before we go into the next round of our discussion on this topic?
Christian, I would like to add something. Like how you said, the diversity is in everything. I want to share my experience in terms of diversity also. Uh, you remember in the month of July, we had one session where I had to give a talk on how the food can be used as a medicine. In that, I was very much nervous to present myself because there were people from different culture. They were people from I think Singapore, Hungary. Andrea is from there, Germany. So I had to explain the spices I use. To all the spices I used in my cooking. So
Wow,
it
India,
was a
I think
very
someone who is your ardent customer is talking about afternoon tea, Indian style. Yeah, you make also, I think, masala chai powder or something, is it?
yes. So in that when I explain about how we Indian cook using all the spice, what is the benefit? It was a very
Yes,
learning experience for me, and that happened because I am in a diverse community. Being in this community actually pushed me to test my limits. And I myself cook, but I never into too much into thinking about why I'm using this spice, why I'm using this. Okay, this is the recipe we have to follow from generation to generation. Okay, just make it and serve it. But that time it forced me to think about why I'm using these spices in my cooking, and why the spices have been using from my ancestors from generation to generation. So that was a very good example of saying that being diversity, how it improved you as an individual person, to test your limits, to push you to a point where you yourself will not imagine that okay, you will do something someday, this thing. And not only in this, like how you said that we are in Malaysia, we are in a diverse community. So being connected with all the culture, it make you just a better person day by day. So that's my recent experience I just wanted to share.
yeah, very beautiful example from your personal experience in doing home-based catering and then I believe you also do daily meals. It
Yeah.
also depends on what your customer once, and then when you and I we had our interview a few months ago, you were talking about the challenge of delivery, packaging.
Yeah, yeah. Even when I wanted to, change my, I wanted to have some changes in my business. I had a perspective from you people also. Being in a environment of the diverse people is always, it's like how Vicky used the word perspective, experience, problem solving approaches. It actually worked for me. When I wanted to do some changes in my business, it actually helped me having the perspective from different people from their point of view. It's always amazing to get different view and opinion of the same thing, and it helped me a lot to to grow in my business as well. So yeah, so being diverse community is like a, it's always a, I'm very lucky to be here.
Yes, we are all lucky and privileged to be part of this very vibrant, ever evolving
Yeah.
community, which was created because Andrea herself was experiencing something that was out of her comfort zone. She was stranded in another country, and then she decided, okay, let's make something positive and good come out of it. Okay, and okay, I will share a little bit. Just now, I just wanted to talk about some of the things, how I benefited from this community. So, as I was saying, 4 years ago, something very unexpected and very challenging happened. And as I was saying, I had to pivot. And being part of this community is my lifeline. It is still my lifeline because though we are in the endemic phase, unfortunately, my loved ones are still in their comfort zone. So I'm still using technology and virtual platforms like Zoom, Meet, and all that to network with people, to communicate with people, even more in the outside world. And this is this Impact Hubbers community is part of my chosen family. Besides some of my trusted friends, I got to know very well 4 years ago, and I created my own social support system so that when I'm having a challenging day and I'm on a low, emotionally or mentally, I will put a shout out to them. They basically know when they get a short message from Krishan, uh, they know it's a good day. When they get multiple messages in a short period of time, okay, they know, okay, Krishan needs this listening ear, Krishan needs the shoulder to cry on, she needs energy boost, she needs the moral support. Similarly, I'm also there for my trusted friends, those who choose to reach out to me and share whatever it is that they are dealing with. Okay, so for those of you who are looking for a community or group of people who would be very caring, very kind, very thoughtful, very patient, very loving, and accepting you as you are. No matter what language you speak, what culture, whichever part of the world, whatever is your viewpoint, this community is a safe space for each other. Okay, and this is why when this summit began, I was supporting it by being a very active participant in the audience. Then 3 years ago, I took on the challenge that Andrea put forward of being a speaker virtually. Okay, I by nature am not a person who enjoys public speaking face to face, but virtually is completely more challenging. Okay, because you're dealing with technology, you're dealing with whether you're dealing with devices, whether it's your phone or your computer. When you need it to behave, this is the exact time. It's an inanimate object that somehow has a sixth sense. It will play up at the worst possible time. Okay, so yes. So
Yeah.
that is what I would like to say. Vicky, what would you like to share?
Yeah, thanks for sharing experience, Krishan and Mina, right? Before I close on the parts, right, I just want to address some of the comments, in this panel as forum, right? I mean, first of all, hi, to everyone who say hi to me. Thanks so much for your nice greetings, and I'm glad to see some good folks like Sham, who do a summary of the items or strategy, the takeaways being shared today. Just to cover some of the questions was that the third point I covered earlier about diversity is the innovation, right? On top of problem solving and creativity. And just okay, it's fine. I'm happy to be poked, right? Actually, nobody's old, right? Age is just a number, right? For example, like one of our former ministers, prime minister actually, is 90 over, right? And if you're 60, 70, you're still young. You still have 20, 30 years to catch up, right? So to him, you are just a young kid, all right? I mean, in a way, right? So it's on your mind, right? You feel old, you're old. You feel young today, you want to dress up like a kid, it's fine. You're diverse, right? And it's like, like for everyone, not just and just, it's like every day you look at the mirror, actually you're different, you may, you may, of course, undesirably get a bit gray hair, right? Or a mustache or something extra, something lost, okay? You're different. Right? So you yourself is diverse, but this doesn't mean that you shouldn't move forward with things, right? Sometimes when you see things are different, right, you feel uncomfortable, but this is where you grow. Okay, I mean, we'll talk about, getting out of comfort zone until like until cars come home. But the point is that to embrace diversity is also to be to capture and to accept the uncomfortable. Okay, I'll move on with it, right? Now in terms of one very example that I noticed is from sharing of Mina, right, about her approach to cooking diversity, right? I think that's really a good I would say could be a good example of what I meant by two P's earlier, the perception and the perspective, right? See, for example, like, in a part community, right, she's one or among a few who actually provided services in terms of cooking, right? Especially Indian cuisine, right? And and most of us, either sell services like teaching coaches, content, talents and whatnot, right? Okay, but you see, the thing is that she embraced diversity, if I'm allowed to say that, right? By looking at it differently.
You're right.
All right, her perception is different. Okay, because you think that, hey, hey, what they're doing is different from me. They're not doing cooking, and specifically, even they do cooking, they're not doing any special Indian cuisine, right? But she's able to see underneath, go deeper the surface of what she saw. All right. And then, from there, she moved to the next part. Not necessarily the high level, but could be parallel, is the thinking, the perception. She think further like, hey, how can this apply to my business of cooking Indian cuisine, right? So to me, and then she did quite well. And I'm confident that she progress and go very far from here, right? So I guess this, again, this is a brilliant example of how and maybe unconsciously she apply these both the perceptions and the perspective, the two P's, to improve the business and perhaps on a personal level, which she may have not shared. Yeah, and to me, it's all coming to you, right? Because it's always the experience that makes you perceive or see things differently, right? Thinking differently. It's all about how you connect the dots, which I mentioned earlier, right?
Yep.
You go to see it differently, think about it differently, okay, in a more protective way. Not so much of getting the negative side, negative side things like, like envy, jealous, or being defensive, right, or trying to be resistant, right? Open up, open up, give yourself a chance. There's opportunity. You just spend time listening. You just spend effort connecting. Don't waste that. It's like sometimes you make mistakes. You will ask yourself, oh shucks, I should have done that. I shouldn't have tried that. But kind of think of it, right? You really efforts, time already been spent, has been used. There's no way you can get it back, right? Why not make the best out of it? So if you don't earn from it, right? You learn from it. Yeah, you learn from that, right? And how can I do better? So likewise, right? Your things are different, diverse, right? How you have to be, you think a bit of take a bit of time, no rush, right? When you're doing something that is, when you're bored, by watching TV, going to a restroom, just plain idling, at home. Suddenly you think about, hey, this guy or this thought is different. How can I leverage on that? Sometimes you might get an idea, but it's okay. Pen it down, right? Bring your journal or your thought book, whatever it is, right? And reuse it later. Who knows? Suddenly one day, Eureka, a light bulb. Hey, why shouldn't I try that? And sometimes you may not need to use that different idea directly. You could change this. All right. So for example, right, someone talk about, let's say, I'll give one example, right? For example, someone talking about, hey, Mickey, why not you explore this business, like say maybe opening a food booth, a store somewhere. Then I was thinking like, I'm not in that area, right? I don't think I have time for that. I mean, if I just discard it, right, it could be a waste. But I could take it another way, like perhaps say, hey, is there a way for me to do marketing for these folks? Is there a way for me to, think about creating some sort of like, say, packages to help them to sell their food, all right? Either way, or maybe help them to set a community, either for free or for paid, right? Where talk about some recipe of food, talk about the challenges faced by the F&B, food and beverages industry right now, which is so competitive, right? So these are some examples of how we can, think how else or what else, right? So it's about not looking at just diversity, but look at how we can use the power, all right, of differences to transform lives, right? Not just community, but yourself. Because you transform yourself, all right, you can help to transform the rest, the community.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you for that thought-provoking sharing, Mickey. Okay, so we are going to wrap up shortly this discussion. So what would I would like to ask you to do, if you would like to do so, is for me, we can share some tips or some thing, some a point to leave with our audience to reflect on and think about. And you can also leave us questions later, and we will go to YouTube and answer your questions. So don't worry, even though this discussion is going to draw to a close live, we will still be available to respond to any questions you have in YouTube. Yes, thank you, Sham. Thank you, Andreas, Al, for your comments. Uh, yes, Thomas had this an eureka moment that is in response to Mickey talking about innovation and thinking about different ways of packaging and doing things. Okay, so for me, I would like to say that two things. Number one, hi, Q. Thank you very much for tuning in. Angela as well. Okay, I would like to say that don't do reach out to people. Don't wait to reach out to people only when you want something from them. Build that rapport, foster the relationship, and whether it's a birthday or it's a festive season, regularly reach out to them so that they know that you're there, you care for them, and if they just by you reaching out to them, that WhatsApp message or that phone call, they may be struggling with something, or, something may be bothering them mentally or emotionally. Use that reaching out to them will suddenly trigger, I would like to talk to you about something. I would like your perspective, or I'd like to share something uh, with you. For you, to them, for you, it's a small thing, but to them, it's a big thing. Okay, and this is something that we should remember. Okay, yes, all of us are busy with our families, with our business, our jobs, whatever it is you're doing. Secondly, you know when you're distracted and busy with many things, your mind can only remember so much. So write it down in a notebook, or use what do you call it, Google Reminder, which I do both in my phone and also Google Calendar, so that whenever I'm attending a session, or there's something that I need to do, this is there to remind me. Hi, Andrea, we are starting to wrap up. Okay, Mina, is there some point or some quotation you would like to leave with those who are tuning in?
I couldn't think of anything just now, but I can say that Being in diverse community is the way to your success. I would say one of the reason for your success, because having different views, different perspective, different perception, like how Mickey said, the two P's he used. So that will definitely help you to grow. So be in diverse community.
Okay, yes, okay. So, which essentially means get out of your comfort zone, go and meet total strangers. And I like to say during when we had a few sessions with Andrea on, we were talking about networking. I say be proactive, be the first person to reach out. Don't wait for others to come to you. Smile and be confident, and have a few sentences, simple things that you would want to say when you meet someone. Okay, Mickey, what would you like to share with as our last word for those who are tuning into the session?
Sure. I think if we combine two pieces, right, the perception and the perspective I shared, I think it's more like reframing, right, how you see things and think about things. Okay, which I already mentioned, and I would say perhaps let me use one of the P is a perspective, right? You look at another perspective, right? The diversity or differences in humans are here to stay, right? A God or whatever the big guy high above you believe, right? Or big game. Okay, let's put this way. Let's be fair. Let it be diverse, right? Um, it's here to stay, and there's no way you can change this, right? So it's either you tolerate, accept, or you embrace, right? No, embrace is the ideal way. Okay, and by embrace it, right, then you really harness, make use of what can be changed, you know, because if you don't accept, right, and you just remain status quo, right, and you just like I said, you're just wasting opportunity, to really improve yourself. At the end of the day, right, if you want to achieve things, you want to be happy, right? That's how to get, one way to go about it. Like embrace it, make the best out of you, make the best out of it, and wishing all the best, that they can achieve that. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, okay. And also another thing that uh, we can do and others can do is, don't, even though you're independent, you are proactive, you're a go-getter, don't put everything on yourself. It will become very overwhelming, and you will feel very stressed and tense, and it will affect you mentally, physically, emotionally. Do reach out to others, okay? The strength is when you need help, reach out to others. And I'm sure, Andrea, you very much would be very supportive of that, right? That is one of the big things that our community is about. We are there for each other.
Yes, every single time I am just amazed how you support each other, how you reach out to each other, how you do things together, you hang out together. I always receive these pictures and the notes that I'm meeting this person from the group, I'm meeting that person, and it just warms my heart. I think that's what is real, and I really love that it's a real diverse community. I when I moved to Malaysia, the first thing that I saw was the sign that was outside Kuala Lumpur, that is the city of diversity. And the more I was living in this country, I was thinking that yes, that's the place where I would like to be. And whenever I meet with people there, I still see that it's true. So the people there are really as diverse as they can be, and they are really loving each other and being happily together. And that's what I saw in this community. And bringing us outsiders, foreigners in, just made it a bit richer. It gave a little bit of other colors into this, and you accepted us also as someone from the outside. And I was learning about Maserati and everything. So I'm really, really happy. It became a very beautiful personal journey, and I to just close the session while I was listening to you.
Andrea, you're talking about colors. Do you see deliberately I'm wearing my rainbow colors?
Beautiful, beautiful. So to just highlight it before we log out, to highlight it to the audience, we were searching for new names for this community after Weber's Hubbers, whatever we called it. And at the end today, I was okay. Let's go give it a second chance for these Hubbers, and I was checking what the name Hubber means. And I just want to read this out loud because it's really like someone wrote this to us. Like those with the name of Hubbers have the potential to tap into a deep well of intuition and knowledge, and to use this power to bring about positive change in their lives and in the lives of others. So this is exactly like this on internet. I just googled the name Hubber, the meaning of the name, and just like Mickey said, it's stated there. So we are here in this diversity, powered by our differences, to empower others and to help others to be better, to do more for others, and one step at a time. So thank you so much, guys. I'm really appreciating that you did this panel, sharing your experiences, your life stories, and also for being with us for the years and many years to come, hopefully. And
Yes.
Thank you so much for this beautiful panel, and for Jag, Charm, and Andreas, and Betty, Alchan, Simpong, and also Viviana and Q. Thank you so much for
And-
tuning in and supporting the conversation.
Yeah, Andrea, well, one last thing. Thank you very much, Mickey and Mina, for joining in this discussion with me. And I hope those of you who are tuning in, whether it's live or replay, that some of the things we have talked about will be very thought-provoking. It will give you an alternative perspective, and it'll start you thinking of getting out of your comfort zone and doing things differently. Okay, so yes, thank you very much, Andrea. Very happy to be and privileged to be part of this community, and for the fourth year, the Global Empowerment Hub.
Thank you so much, guys. Let's say goodbye. I will jump with another panel because we will have the next one coming up about
Bye,
sustainability.
everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for
Online
having me.
invitation. Bye.
Thank you.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.
Bye bye.
Some people have to succeed to be in charge and take the lead. It's no secret if you wanna know, just let it flow.